bum's wet. Ugh. I think it was somewhere around here a year ago. So we were on a walk thinking about what's to come, being my own boss, working whenever, wherever, just being free and do what I think is best, not what someone else thinks is best. I'll be able to just work from home. I'll be able to go home more often, which is Latvia, by the way, if you didn't know. And I will grow out and I will have loads of clients, and I had a plan and it's definitely gonna work out. Oh, sugar. Didn't quite work out that way. So today I'm thinking of asking you some questions. If there's like this little devil inside of you thinking, come on, go do it, try it on your own, you've got this. So before you do that, I think you should really ask these few questions and see what the answers are. You don't have to have the answers for all of them, just for those questions to be in your mind and for you to put time aside to actually think about it. I learned it the hard way. I went into freelancing quite happy and positive, and I thought that it's gonna work out. It has to, right? I'm the boss. I can do it. I got it in me. But it didn't quite work out that way, and I think if someone would have asked me these questions a year ago, I might have gone for a different approach. Right, so that's the plan for today. First I need to tire out the dog, and then we'll go back in, get cozy, get a brew, and make this thing happen. So see you in a bit. Okay, where's your ball? Bring it back now. Good girl. Here she comes, going in. Hashtag dog life. So welcome back. Unfortunately, yesterday was a bit of a disaster. It turns out that my microphone was not compatible with my phone, and then I had to go and download a different app. So we're starting fresh today. This video is going to be divided into parts. In part one, I'm going to be asking you all these questions that you should ask yourself before going freelance, and in part two, we will be reflecting more on my own experience, and I will be giving you some tips for your own adventures. Let's not waste any more time and get on with the video. So first of all, I really want to get out the way all the financial questions and concerns that you might have, that you should have. Because at the end of the day, if you can't pay your bills and you can't feed yourself, then this whole thing is just not worth it. So you really need to sit down and write down all of your monthly outgoings, things that just need to leave your bank account no matter what, as well as obviously add all the monies that you need for just staying alive. So what I really want you to do now is to really think how long you could last if you wouldn't get paid a penny for the whole month. Do you have any savings? How long would they last? Would it be a month, 2, 3, half a year? If it's a half a year, then you're probably good to go, so no worries about that. But if it is only a month or 2, you might have to just put this adventure to the side for now and spend a few more months just saving up so that you feel a bit more comfortable. A client doesn't pay or you don't get any business for the month, you are still good to go. My biggest mistake was that I did not have a single penny saved up before I sort of dived into freelancing, and looking back at it now and knowing what I know now, I feel like an absolute idiot, and I wish I would have asked myself that question and had a bit of a think and be a bit more grown up about this because it matters. And because I did not ask myself this question, I have ended up in a lot more debt that I should not really be in at the moment. So don't make the mistake that I did, and check your finances, check your savings, and see if you are really good to go. Next question is, what happens if your main gig does not work out? So this means, do you have a plan B, C, D, E, and I could go all the way down to X, Y, and Z. This is so important because a life happens and things do not work out. Again, one of the mistakes that I made, I maybe had plan A, B, and C, but when that did not work out, I really had nowhere to turn. I got depressed. I absolutely lost my focus, my drive, and any kind of passion for interior design. I really felt like a failure, where I shouldn't have really felt like that. So what if it doesn't work out? You just move on to the next thing. Just the fact that you have been brave enough to take control of your own life and start this adventure, just that fact on its own is an achievement, and you should be proud of it. So don't get yourself down if plan A, B, and C does not work out. Just make sure that you are prepared and you've got other things that you can pick right up and bounce back immediately. Now that we've got the financial bits out of the way, I would like to focus on your business strategy. Do you know your niche? Do you know what your ideal client is? Or maybe if you will be targeting businesses, what is the profile of this business? You really need to create this ideal in your mind and start to analyze them. Where can you find them? What is their lifestyle like? What social platforms do they use? Where do they go shopping? What's important to them? What sort of budgets do they work with? All of these little details will really help you to sort of create this ideal client, this ideal business that you want to work with. And at the end of the day, when you feel like you are sort of losing focus, you can always go back to that. Lesson learned again from experience is that I did not do this exercise, and it led me to basically just floating about aimlessly, because I thought, you know what, I can do all types of spaces. Why not? I've got the experience. I know what I'm doing. Design is design, right? Well, not quite. I do still believe that designers are quite versatile with their skill set, and that can be applied to various types of projects. But the problem here is that you just lose your focus, and that leads to losing business. A very good exercise to do to figure out whether you really know what your focus audience is to put yourself into a position where you can pretend that you have met someone for the first time and they basically ask you the questions. So what do you do for a living? So I would like to play out two scenarios where you can see for yourself what is working and what isn't. So scenario one, I'm an interior designer. I have done various types of projects, starting from residentials, moving on to more commercial spaces like cafes, bars. In the past, I have also done some educational projects, as well as some co-working spaces like offices. So I would be happy to hear from you if you have any types of interior projects coming up. Scenario number two. So basically, I am a commercial interior designer, which means that I focus on commercial spaces, public spaces like restaurants, cafes, bars. So anywhere where people really get a chance to collaborate and interact, but at the same time they've got the option to be by themselves. I really think that social sector is evolving at the moment, which opens up a lot of opportunities for us as designers. We can get a bit more creative, a bit more funky. So if you do come across any kinds of commercial spaces, feel free to give me a call and we can see what we can do. So you can see just by doing this little exercise how big of a difference between two of those scenarios. Scenario number two will definitely stay in that person's mind for longer, and it is more likely for that person to get in touch with the designer if they have any relatable business to offer. And the last thing in this part of the video that I would like to touch on is your marketing strategy. I've talked about this before in my portfolio video, which I'm gonna put links to somewhere up here. Social media is growing massively in the industry, outside the industry, so it would be really silly for you not to use this tool in order to get more business. One thing that I'm learning very fast from my own experience now trying to promote spaceforedit is that it is very hard to gain a genuine following. At the moment, technologies are so smart that companies are really using these fake accounts or bots, whatever they are called. Through these fake accounts, they might give you loads of likes, but at the end of the day, all these likes just go to waste because there is no genuine following. So make sure you test your ideas, make sure your marketing strategy is on point, because you don't want to be losing out on all of those opportunities. So that's it for part 1. Check the info box below for more information and links to all of my social media accounts. Part number 2 will be out in just a few days, so make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel as well and click the bell to get notified when the video comes out. I hope you learned something new today. I hope you'll come back for part 2. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.